So welcome, Minister McTaggart. You're going to be speaking at the Economic Forum on Friday. Tell us about some of the key points of your messages.
Donna, my key message, and I have one to deliver, is to just really update the country on this economic situation in the country as we find it. The cornerstone of my presentation would focus on government's financial results for the first 6 months of the year, and they do tell a story. They tell a story that is not very pretty, but I don't think anyone will be really surprised by the story that I will tell on Friday morning at the forum. So it is to update the country and also to talk a bit about what the expectations are and the forecasts are for us moving forward in terms of GDP growth or contraction as we know it, and what we're projecting in terms of government's financial position at the end of the year.
Why is it so timely to convey this message now to the public?
I think it's always important to keep the country informed. I have now the financial results for the second quarter, that is April through June. So they really give us a capsule and a snapshot of what the effects of COVID are on government's financial performance over that 3-month period. And so I think it is very timely. The information is fresh. And I think it's always important to keep your people informed and be open and transparent with them in terms of what government is doing and how government is performing. This really concerns everybody, because at the end of the day, I mean, yes, we do have reserves, but those reserves only go so far.
Right.
And when you start to run low on reserves and you're low on cash to spend to support your economy, support your systems, or your citizens, and support those who are most vulnerable, then you have to start making decisions and reprioritizing items in order to make sure that you can manage that as you move through it. So those are the things we'll be looking at.
You touched just a few seconds ago on how the general public can be affected by this, but can we speak a little bit more in depth and really how government finances and the state that government finances are in, how that can really affect the average person?
Well, for the average person, where we are right now, Donna, with the reserves that we have, for us, we are able to continue and to do quite a bit that maybe other countries can't do because they are not in the enviable position that we are in. So we're able to provide, support to those who are most vulnerable, those who are unemployed. We're able to maintain it at a fairly high level. And I mean, we've been able to take care of people thus far in need of it. Now, going forward, as we continue to deplete our reserves and continue to spend, you start to think conceivably things could change for us on an economic standpoint, and we start to run out of funding. But I hope we never get there, because the types of decisions you start to make, they are very, very much tougher to make in terms of, do we need to introduce taxation, that sort of stuff. And I hate to use the word, but you think of it, projecting things forward. If things don't turn around, if the world economy doesn't get going, we can't reopen the tourism segment of our economy. What's next? And the reserves that we have right now will only last us so long.
I'm sure you can't speak to all the plans, but
Sure.
Are there any particular points of the plan moving forward that you can share with the public?
Well, we've given some indication of a similar plan that we're working on, really, to assist the medium and larger type businesses, because they too are finding it particularly difficult. We are in the midst of discussions with our commercial banks with a view to putting together a government guarantee scheme, similar as we have with the home mortgage scheme that has been so successful for government. That way, the commercial banks will be able to assist their customers, and particularly those in the hotel and tourism industry, to borrow money and to financing in order to get them through this period. And so we are working on that, but we're not at this point ready to make formal announcements of what's been put in place. Discussions are ongoing with the commercial banks in that regard, and I hope I can get it put together, fairly quickly now to be able to launch it and to give these businesses an alternative than what they have right now, which really is nothing.